Guys, how are you? Where's my little chair? I want to sit outside today, but I gotta find my chair. Hey guys, so today is Friday, September 22nd, 2017. I know y'all be like, okay, she's off and on, but it's okay guys, because I'm about to get a little bit more consistent on doing these videos with you guys. But today I've been on my heart to do just a basic Q&A so you guys can ask me questions, things of that nature. You can play. Q&A so you guys can ask any questions you want to ask, and I can answer you the best of my ability. So I'll just tell you guys who I am. I am Belize Samuels, soon to be back Belize Spivey. So soon enough, don't be calling me Samuels because I won't be that anymore. But I am a STD Life Coach. I help women, especially African American women, living with herpes, okay? Y'all know I contracted herpes 8 years ago while I was in college. Had no clue what it was, had no clue how to prevent it, had no clue what to do. So I did what I could do by myself, found out that it worked, and now I want to help other women go through to get over it as well. So as we know, we are the overcomers, so that is why I call my business the Overcoming the Stigma. So with that being said, guys, who have questions today? I know a lot of you guys been hearing about Usher again, like crazy, right? So they've been hearing that once again. So I just think somebody's really trying to slander this man's name, because it's just so many different stories that keep going up. As we know, nobody will truly know the truth. But I also want to tell you guys who are living with herpes right now, and you keep hearing things about the Usher thing and still keep hearing the comments and things like that, please try your best not to let those things get the best of you, because at the end of the day, as us who have it, we had no clue what it was. We had no clue how to present it, and half of us have no clue. Majority of the world have no clue to how to protect themselves or even ask for a test, you know, or think that it's included in their test. So my whole thing is, as much as you feel down and it bring you down sometimes, you got to always remember, look, I did what I could. I had no clue what it was. I thought I was protecting myself. I thought, you know, me and my boyfriend or girlfriend was in a, you know, exclusive relationship. I thought these things, so I thought I wouldn't get this. So that's another reason why I want you guys not to take it so personal sometimes, because you gotta always remember your story and how you quote unquote got here. Because as many people believe, oh, it's because you're out here doing all these things, and as y'all hear my story, a lot of y'all was like, well, you didn't even know that boy, blah 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 blah. Let me tell you something, okay? I had a lifestyle, but I did protect myself when I was with that young man anyway. So, and I want to clear that up, because a lot of people been asking me or coming back and asking me, like, oh, so you're saying that you didn't get it from him? No, that first video that I did, that was just my reaction and what I learned from herpes. So that young man I had sex with, that's when I had an outbreak. He did not have it, and found out that he did not have it. Thank God. Hey, love. And found out that he did not have it. So with that being said, I was super excited about that he did not contract it from me at all, but he wasn't the one who gave it to me. So if any of y'all have been watching my videos, y'all seen later on, I kind of told my story. I'm going to answer your question in a minute. Told my story, of how I have an idea of who gave it to me, because a couple of months before him, I would say about 7 months before him, a little bit more 7 months before him, I had sex with this guy that I had known like since I was 15 years old. We ended up having sex on my birthday. That's the time I did not use protection, because I had been knowing him for so long, things like that. So I trusted him and things like that. No, we wasn't in a relationship, but we had a great friendship. So we ended up having sex that night, and we didn't use protection. And a week later, he told me that he had a bump on his penis, and he thought it was herpes, and he asked me if I had it. And you know, this time when he asked me, we was using Black Panther. We really didn't have phones and stuff like that. So we was on Black Panther, and he asked me that, and I said, no, I do not have it. And I went to go get tested, and it told me negative. So at that time, it was a false negative, because later on down the months, Boom, it happened. So with that being said, or I could have got it from somebody else if that was the case, because I ended up dating somebody a little bit after him anyway. So with that being said, guys, like, that's the only person I have an idea of who gave it to, because he's the only one who said something to me. But I went back and asked as many people as I can ask, and nobody came up, and anybody present I was with after him, nobody said anything. So I have an idea that it had to be him. But that's my story. So I just want to clear that up, because some people was like, but you said it was him. I did not say it was him. I was telling y'all that was my reaction, but it wasn't him. But I did use protection with that young man. But the guy that I got it from, I did not use protection with him, because I had known him for so long. I had known him 15. I met him at 15, and we didn't have sex until I was like 19, 20. 19, I think. 18, 19. So we hadn't been knowing each other for a couple of years. So with that being said, trust was there. I didn't believe he'll never put me in a predicament like that, but I don't believe he knew either. That's why he asked me. So I was never mad at him, and he was never mad at me. We were still friends after that. Now we just lost touch, but we were still friends, and we hung out a couple of times after that. So yeah. So let me answer you guys' question. I'm afraid to kiss my baby. I'm currently pregnant right now. I'm so afraid my child will get it. Question is, number one, do you get cold sores on your mouth? Can you answer me that question? Do you have cold sores on your mouth? Or do you have it on your vaginal area? I'm asking this question because it's going to determine a whole lot of things. So answer that for me, and then I will answer your question, okay? Matter of fact, I'll just answer the question. Okay, I'm just thinking about it. If you get cold sores, okay, cool. No. Okay, so if you don't get cold sores on your mouth, you probably have type 2, or you can have type 1 genital. So your baby has no concerns, because if you don't have type 1 oral, or if you know for a fact you don't have type 1 oral, or you never had a cold sore on your mouth, then your child has no problems at all. You can kiss your baby as much as you want to. Now, the only concern that you may have, okay, I'll go into that too. So, the only concern that you may have is that the fact that you are pregnant right now, when you get to about 36 weeks, they're going to ask you to take Valtrex to prevent an outbreak. And you just and you talk to them and say, I never had an outbreak, but they'll let you, they'll ask you, do you want to take it? Because as you know, you get closer to labor, a lot of stress, a lot of things go on. If you do have an outbreak during your labor, which they're going to check you 140, 50 times, and then they're going to also ask you, any questions, which when you're when they're in the room with you, they're going to ask you, do you want anybody to leave? Somebody, like if you have your mom, anybody there who you haven't told, things like that, they don't have to find out. You just tell them to leave the room while you talk to the doctor or the nurse and things like that. And they'll check you, ask you if you had any outbreaks, any symptoms. If you don't, you can go ahead and have your baby vaginal with no problem. Okay? Now, if you have oral, now that's the risk that comes in. You have to be very, 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 very careful with kissing your baby, especially as an infant, okay? Because at the end of the day, their bodies cannot handle this virus. This may scare you, but it can kill them, okay? So with that being said, if you have any outbreaks, please do not kiss your baby at all. If you have a tingle, do not kiss your baby at all, okay? I say do not kiss your infant at all during those times, okay? When you're having an active outbreak.
Okay? Throw.
Hey, what kind of foods can I eat, and what kind of stuff can I use on my skin? Okay, so with the food, you can eat what you want to eat. Now, most important, they always tell us, junk food. Most importantly, is junk food. Say, try to reduce your junk food, reduce your sugar. Chocolate is a trigger for some women to have an outbreak, or guys to have an outbreak. Some people it's ketchup. Some people it's just different type of things. Some people it's alcohol. But most importantly, if you want to think about foods, eat a lot of alkaline foods. Alkaline foods is a lot of greens, all types of vegetables, and things of that nature. You can drink alkaline water, things like that. But most importantly, you got to understand that you just need to keep your immune system up. No. It's a no. So Sorry, we outside. So with that being said, you have to understand that you just need to keep your immune system up, and the best way to keep your immune system up is eating a lot of vegetables. You know, a lot of green vegetables. If you're not really into green vegetables, try to do green smoothies or add smoothies, eat salads, things like that, or keep eating the same foods that you like, things like that. Or you can do alkaline powder or pill or something like that, or a multivitamin to keep your immune system up. Okay. What can you use on what type of stuff you can use skin? So you can use coconut oil, tea tree oil, mix them together. You can use aloe vera gel. What else? I know people who put AD ointment on their outbreaks. But I always say coconut oil, tea tree oils are good, and aloe vera gel is always good. The natural routes. Okay. Okay, so I don't think I ever had an outbreak. Okay, so with that being said, guys, you got to understand, an outbreak is not just seeing a pimple, a blister, a cut. Outbreak is any type of symptom, tingling that you may have. If you ever had an outbreak, you kind of know that tingling feeling, unbearable itching or itching, a discharge, a burning sensation, aching in the legs and the arms, things of that nature. That is also an outbreak. So my whole thing is I want you guys to get out your mind, like, I may not ever had an outbreak, things like that, but at the end of the day, you probably did. You just didn't know it was other symptoms other than seeing seeing something, all right? Seeing a pimple or a cut or blister. Can you ever get rid of herpes? Okay, guys, as we know right now, it's no clear or fully documented, given to the whole world, everybody knows and everybody getting rid of it cure. So right now, I would say no. But if you want to go the natural route, as we know, it's so many people out here who are trying to go the natural route or talk to people who have went the natural route, then you can do that. I would just say, make sure you do your research. Make sure you know this person that you're going to work with knows what they're talking about, and they have documentation that they have cured anybody. But let me tell you, I have talked to... Hey, and put that down.
He died.
Okay. That's disgusting. You're such a boy. Ew, he touched a dead frog. Stop.
He died.
No, stop it. I don't like any type of creatures, okay? I'm just not that type of girl. But as long as I've been doing this, I have not met not one person who have cured themselves from herpes. Not one. So if I find that out or I find that cure for you, I will let y'all know. But until then, it is nothing out here that is guaranteed to cure you from it. Now, I know people do the oregano oil, and they say they use that and it reduces their outbreaks. So with that being said, guys, they use that and they put it on their spine and they put it under their tongue. Which y'all can do some research on that. And I know for a fact, I know some people who did that who are in my support groups, and it helps them to a point where they're not having any outbreaks anymore. So that's the only thing I know for a fact that is working for people, but getting rid of it, I don't know. How do they determine which one do you have? Because you said type 1 in genital, but I thought the type 1 was oral for the mouth. Type 1, type 2, think about it, they really don't care to say type 1, type 2, because herpes is where herpes is going to be. Type 1 is generally the one that is being is the one in your genital area, as y'all may think. Oh, type 1 is just oral. No. People put their mouth, they kiss you, and they give you oral sex. So with that being said, guys, a lot of people are having oral sex without any protection. So a lot of people are getting herpes because they're not using any protection for oral sex. So with that being said, type 1, that person has a cold sore on their mouth or inside their mouth or up top of their lips or things like that, and they go down on you. So now you have type 1 oral. Genital, type 2. Type 2 is just genital to genital. So, but a lot of people have type 1 because somebody had it orally, not thinking that a cold sore or fever blister was herpes, and they kissed them and they gave them oral sex, and voila, they have type 1 genital. Okay? I heard chocolate. I know peanut butters. Yeah. Peanuts. Like I said, yes, peanuts can be a trigger for some people too, but it depends person to person. As much as y'all see this information online, it is so general. It is not for everybody. I am a chocolate fiend. I eat peanuts. I eat peanut butter. I drink alcohol. I eat junk food, and that is not a reason why I have outbreaks. I don't even have outbreaks like that. So with that being said, my outbreaks come from just friction from sex and stress. But I've been on a lot of stress and I haven't had an outbreak. But it's because if I feel a little tingle, I just chill out. I just chill out. So, okay, thank you. Can herpes spread to the fingers? Yes, it can spread to the fingers. So if you have an open cut on your finger, you go down, you touch yourself, or somebody, or just say, quote unquote, you having an outbreak, you don't know you having an outbreak, a person performs hand job on you and they can get it. It happens. It's very rare, but it can happen. Hi, Belize. My doctor say because I have the antibodies doesn't mean I have it, which doesn't mean I can't give anything to my partner. I never had a lesion, so my doctor said I can pass anything to my partner. What's your opinion on that? I can't pass anything to my partner. Okay. All right. I kind of hate when they say you got the antibodies. You got it or you don't. This is what they're saying. They're basically telling you that you're in between having it and not having it. So I'm sure your doctor probably told you, hey, come back and get tested a little bit later just to make sure. It's because your numbers are in that in-between rate. And when it's in the in-between, hey, you coming back outside? Oh, okay. That's my neighbor's kids. They're so sweet. So with that being said, that in between letting you know that you in between. It's not saying you don't have it. It's not saying you have it. So when they say it, which doesn't mean I can't give it to my partner. It's just that in between. They don't know for a fact that you have it, and they don't know for a not fact that you don't have it. So I would tell you to go back and get tested again. Go back, go to another doctor, and go get tested again, because at the end of the day, because they can't tell you yes and they can't tell you no. And just because you don't have lesions doesn't mean you can't pass it on. Like I was telling everybody earlier, symptoms are not just lesions. It is itching, it's burning, it's tingling, it's aching in your body. Some people go into a flu-like aching feeling. Some people get really, really sick. Their back start hurting, their legs start hurting, their arms start hurting. Some people neck start hurting if they have oral. Their cheeks start feeling funny and tingling, and mouth start tingling, and things like that, just depending on where they are. So with that being said, guys, I want y'all to get out of the thought that an outbreak is just lesions. It's not. It's not at all. So I would truly tell you, just because that doctor, he's in between, just go get tested again. Go to another clinic or a doctor and just get tested again, okay? Because anybody's just letting you know that you've been exposed, but doesn't mean you quite have it, because it's on a number scale. So based off numbers, they determine if you have it or you don't have it. But if they're saying, you can't pass it to somebody, and they're telling you you don't have it, but you're so close to the line, but they're not sure. He's inside. Y'all about to leave. Where's my baby? Y'all going to the store? Okay, take Junior. Bye-bye. Oh, don't hell no, my baby. You are so mean. That's my sister, y'all. No lie, that is my sister. You're awesome. You awesome too, sweetie pie. Anybody have any more questions? They're saying my connection is pretty bad. I'm sorry, y'all. Any more questions? Thank you. Anytime, hon. Anytime, okay? I know that's kind of freaking you out a little bit, because when they tell you they think you have herpes, or they say anything about anything about herpes, you're going to freak out. My whole thing is, I know you're probably freaking. I know you're kind of scared, but the best thing for you to do is not to freak out quite yet, because at the end of the day, until they tell you got it, hey, you don't. I asked to be tested again, but he said wait 6 months, but it doesn't matter because the antibodies will always be there. No, that's not absolutely true. The thing about it is, if you're exposed, you're going to have antibodies, but it's going to determine if it's a yes or a no that you have it. So it's the same thing with, let me see. Okay, it's not really hard. That's kind of hard to explain. I'm trying to find another reason. Look, based off testing is all rated based off numbers. Off the numbers, it's going to determine it's a yes or a no. So I would tell you, don't go back to him. Okay, don't go back to that doctor. Go to another doctor, act like you don't know, and say, hey, my partner, I think, or just simply say, hey, I want to get tested for herpes, and go get tested like you don't know anything, and let them tell you exactly yes or no. Okay, because this doctor, yeah, you'll have the antibodies, but it still determine if it's a yes or no. Right now, he's saying you basically do not have herpes, but they want you to come back after 6 months just to make for sure, because you kind of went early, so they don't know for sure it's a yes or a no, because the numbers haven't showed up quite yet. Hey guys, my connection sucky. Okay, let's say my connection is bad. Mo, let me know exactly you want to know about disclosing. Okay, anybody else have any questions? Any more questions? I'm trying to get a better signal here. Okay, better signal. Bad connection. Thanks for the information. Yes. I seen that I had bad connection. So if anybody had just asked a question, please ask that question again, because I did not see it. I didn't see it. My connection was really... Get out of the road. Get out of the road. And leave that dog alone. Leave him alone. And he over there boo-booing. Leave him alone. You better get your bike from your brother. Mo, I asked you about disclosing. What exactly do you want to know about disclosing? It's pretty broad, so I just want to know exactly what you want to know. So what are the words that you should not use when disclosing? Good question. Don't ever say tell. I want to tell you something. That is the #1 way to scare a person off. Nobody, take it in the house. Nobody want to hear, oh, I want to tell you something. A dude gets so scared when they hear that. So my whole thing, don't ever say, I want to tell you something. The best way to disclose is say, hey, I want to share something with you. Sharing is a positive word. Sharing is a good word. Sharing is awesome. Everybody thinks good things when they hear sharing, but when you hear tell, you automatically think bad. You automatically think bad. I don't know why my connection is so crappy today. It was good the other day. Let me see if I can get closer to the house. It's going to be better. Get your brother.
Come on, Angelo.
I'm trying to get a better connection, guys, because I can't see anything at all. The connection is sucky. Okay. Whew. Oh, all right. Should you use the word like STD? Okay, so let me tell you exactly how I share, #1, and what I tell people when they do a disclosing session with me. So if you had a disclosure session with me, I'll always ask you, #1, what is your history with that person? Are y'all talking to each other, or y'all just talk? Are y'all already in a relationship and you find out you have herpes in that relationship? So all those things matter. But just say if you don't know this person, so I'm gonna give you different scenarios. If you just start talking to this person, y'all both determine, hey, I like you, you like me, we want to be exclusive. And then say, hey, I have something I want to share with you that happened to me in my past or recently, if it just happened. And you go into your story. You tell them exactly what happened. Hey, I went to the doctor to get my annual, and when I got my annual, they told me that I have herpes. I wouldn't say STD. Just say what it is. There's no point of covering it up or anything like that. Just point blank come out and say it. A lot of people do say HSV. I'm gonna be real with you. People don't have no clue what HSV is, especially if they're not in the health industry. So I will truly just say, be upfront and candid. Not even, just come out and say it and say, hey, I found out I have herpes, and I want to share that with you. And you give them a moment to process. They're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Oh my God, I met a girl finally who had this thing. I ain't never think I'll meet somebody or meet a guy who has this. So with that being said, guys, you got to give a person a moment. Nope, go throw it in trash. Give them a moment to process it, and they may get distant a little bit after that, but you let them determine if yay or nay, and then you ask them if they can accept that or not about you. But most importantly, you need to just be open about it and say, hey, I want to share something with you that happened in my past. This is what happened to me. Tell them your story and give them a moment to think about it and ask them, hey, can you accept that? Is that something you think you can handle? And they'll give you a question. They'll give you an answer, and then you guys move forward from there. Okay? Did that help? Yeah. Now, if you're in a relationship, I'm going to give you that. If you're in a relationship, because based off the question you're telling me, you're probably telling somebody new. If you're in a relationship, just say you've been in a relationship for a while, you went to the doctor, you got tested, and you find out you have it. Now, this is a different situation because it's scary because you're like, oh my God, I may lose my partner. But you be real. My whole thing, this is a thing that you do not want to do. Go to the doctor and don't tell your partner you're going to the doctor. A lot of women and a lot of men do this. They go to the doctor because they see something, they feel something, they do not tell their partner. The best thing to do if you're in a situation and you're scared that something's wrong, talk to your partner. Let your partner know from you, hey babe, I've been having this ongoing itching, or I seen this, look at this, what do you think this is? And y'all do this together. Go to the doctors together, because at the end of the day, if you get a test result, they need to go ahead and get information and get their test results as well. Not saying every time that your partner gave it to you, because of some situations where you never knew you had it. You could have been having outbreaks for years. You didn't know it because you thought it was just an aggravating itch, and you were like, man, I just get this itch every blue moon around my period, on my menstrual cycle, and then it goes away. Or I get this one little pimple, but it really don't hurt. Or I get this, it's like rage month because I shave, but it just there for a little bit and then it goes away. So sometimes we just don't know the symptoms, especially if you're with your partner. But don't hide this from your partner. Don't wake up one morning, get your test results, and roll over and say, babe, guess what? I got herpes. You gonna get cussed out. I'm not even gonna lie. You're going to get scorned, because at the end of the day, you have not kept your partner updated on what's going on. So soon as you feel like something is going on with you, you turn over to your mate and pick up your pillow top and say, babe, I think it's something going on with me. I don't know what it is. I want to go to the doctor. You gay. I'm not gay. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, so if you go to when telling me you want to go to you're going to the doctor, and you're going to keep them updated on what's going on with you at the doctor. And as soon as you get your test results, or even when your doctor see it, you need to call your partner or text your partner and say, babe, this is what they saying that this probably is. I am freaking out. And let your partner kind of be with you. Oh my God, my allergies is whooping my behind. Let your partner know what's going on, so now they're involved. Then getting on the back end of the stick, and now number one, they're gonna think you cheated because you've been hiding this from the whole time, and they're gonna think, oh my God, you didn't tell me. You just coming back and telling me that you had this. So you probably been knew you had this, and you can't. It's hard to say I didn't know when you haven't been talking to your partner the whole time. So my whole thing, soon as you feel like it's something's going on with you, you need to start talking to your partner. Babe, when we have sex, it feels funny. Or babe, I've been having this just keep having this itch. I had this weird discharge or whatever. I'm going to go to the doctor and find out what's going on. I'm going to tell you what's going on. And they're going to probably babe, it's nothing. You probably just got a yeast infection, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm going to the doctor to find out. As soon as I find out, I'm going to let you know. So now the communication's there. So now it's no surprise that if something comes up, now y'all can deal with it. Yes, it's still going to be a lot of questions, a lot of concern, a lot of fear there. It's still going to be some anger there, but at least your partner say, you know what? She wasn't hiding it. She was talking to me the whole time. She would let me know everything that was going on, or he would let me know everything going on. So now we can fight through this together, because that person chose to do this with me, not to hide it from me. So my whole thing, if you're in a situation like that now, go ahead and start talking to your partner and say, I went to the doctor the other day and boom, this is what they told me. I mean, I didn't think it was no big deal, and this is what happened. If you ever find out you have it, or you're at this point you just find out, or you've been having it for a while, if you've been having this for a while and you still haven't told your partner, you're in danger zone. Okay, you are in danger zone, because now you gotta lie to a certain extent, like you didn't know, that you had this for a long period of time. So my whole thing is the best thing to do is just to be upfront, especially if you're in a relationship. If you've been in a relationship over 6 months to a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 plus, if you don't have this type of communication with your partner anyway, y'all relationship is in trouble anyway. Communication sucks because you shouldn't be going to the doctor or anything should be going on with your health and your partner has no clue what's going on with your health. They should know everything that's going on with you, period. And if you don't have that type of conversation just because you're scared, then where is your relationship standing? Being honest, y'all should be like hooked at the hip, kind of like talking about everything. And if you're not telling them, even if you know something itching, like what's going on, y'all should be able to talk to each other about stuff. Yes, I get the scared part, but if you're constantly keeping the communication open and telling what's going on, then it's a little bit more easier to deal with this than to kind of just spring it on them one day and they at the house and you're like, babe, guess what I found out today? And they're like, when did you go? How did you find out? Why did you go? What you think would happen? Who did this to you? You know, they start asking a lot of questions, but if you let them go with you in the process, y'all can heal better together. Okay? I don't know what this person is talking about. Okay. You need to go to the doctor. Did you go to the doctor about that? When you have warts, it's not much you can do about warts. You can get them removed. It sounds like you have HPV. HPV is not herpes. Two different things.
HPV is
So my whole thing is you need to go to your doctor and talk to your doctor about that, sweetie. I never get my boyfriend to go down on me at all. Why not?
Angelo's outside.
Because grandma outside. Grandma's outside. He can do it. I mean, my husband went down on me all the time. I had other people who did. It's not a big issue. It's really how you feel about yourself. My whole thing is, if your partner's okay with it, then as long as you're not having an outbreak or anything like that, it's fine. Worst case scenario, he used dinner down. It still feels normal. Yeah. Hey, mother. Ooh, I don't want it.
I want it.
Give it to your brother. Go wash your hands. Because I don't know when I'm having one. How long have you had it? You told me that you don't have any outbreaks.
How you turn the lights off?
I don't think I ever had it. So I see why you're scared.
Turn the lights off, Hayden.
You hit the button.
Hayden!
Y'all hear my mama?
You press it.
It's not stopping. I'm pressing. That's what I
Press it
entered.
No.
harder.
You press the...
2 buttons. Press it 2 times. It's not that hard.
Okay. Hush, boy. Before you get hit. Because I don't know when I'm having one. So my whole thing is when you don't know you having one, especially, I don't know if I do or I don't because I'm not sure when I'm looking for. Okay, the thing about it is yours going to look different from everybody's. Just because if you found out just through blood work, then with that being said, you probably never had an outbreak, okay? And it can look like a cut, it can look like a pimple, it can look like a bad blister. You can just have simple itching, burning, legs hurting, aching feeling. Those are still an outbreak. So my whole thing is you got to learn how you have to learn yourself. And it sounded like, okay, I had a feeling you found out through blood work. So it's going to take you some time to find out what your outbreaks look like. And you may not ever have any outbreaks. But my whole thing is, if your partner is pretty comfortable with that, until you learn what that is, you can use dental dam. There's nothing wrong with that. Use dental dam until the case B is like a thin little plastic. It's not even plastic, like latex. And it covers your vagina. And then he can still do what he do until you feel a little bit more comfortable. And then y'all can still use condoms until you feel more comfortable. Right now, you're just in an early process. When you find out by blood work, it's so difficult and it's kind of pretty scary because you just don't know what you're looking for. And like I said, it can look like so many different things on you. And it can be just the simple symptoms that you may... Stop, sweetie. Simple symptoms that you have and you don't know it. So, like I'll tell you, just take some time to learn your body.
You could have tackled him over here. Because you knew I was going to tell him no again. Because it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. I said, you going to fuck around and be just like that little girl. Terrence.
Can you calm down?
Hush. Grandma's on the phone. Y'all hear my mom conversation.
I ask his history now. Because what you don't did is you will find past that postal truck on that middle of the street and you don't caught that damn boy and snatched him off with that window.
So I don't want y'all to hear my mama conversation. She talking about some folks at work. So I got some warts inside my butthole too, and I just popped them and I'm losing a lot of blood. What should I do? Go to the hospital ASAP. Go to the hospital. Because honestly, you cannot mess with warts, and when you do, they need to be professionally taken off, or like you're having now, a lot of bleeding. So I need you to go to the ER right now. You don't want to lose too much blood. Is it true some people are immune to HIV? Nobody's immune to HIV, period. Nobody's immune to anything. Nobody's immune to anything. I found out through blood work. I kissed my grandma on the cheek when she was in the hospital. I had a little bump on my lip. But I thought it was nothing. I literally had a breakdown. Okay, do you have the fact of what type did they tell you had? Tell me that. Because a little bump could just been you just had a pimple, or a little bump that could have been an outbreak and you just didn't know it. Okay? And really, what could you do? You had no clue what it was, but you can't brush things off a little bit thinking that it's nothing anymore. But your grandma, she'll be fine, babe. She'll be fine. You don't even know. She may already have it. Sound mean, but just being honest. But kissing on her cheek is not a biggie. Okay, you don't really catch people with herpes or cold sores and stuff on their cheeks. It's really their lips, because herpes like to lie where it's mucus membranes. So pretty much soft areas or areas that have cuts or openings. They didn't give me the test. My doctor told me that my insurance doesn't cover me. So how do you know you have herpes? How do you know you have it? You said you found out through blood work. If you found out through blood work, that means clearly your insurance paid for some of it. Or are you saying that they didn't cover the fact of finding out what type? Or did your doctor just look at it and he just said it was herpes? I need to know kind of how that worked out, because your insurance had to cover something for you to get any type of blood work. Or did you go to a free clinic? Oh, okay. That's what I thought. So they give you the test with the type. Okay. So with that being said, then you will never know what type you have. So you could be having type 1, you could have type 2, you could have genital. So I see where your confusion is coming in, because you're not quite sure where it could lie. So with that being said, you got to be a little bit more cautious, because you don't know where it can be. Plus, you found out through blood work. And since you found out the blood work without having an actual outbreak, you don't know where it's going to be at. So if you seen that one on your lip, how long did it take for it to go away? Did it hurt? Did it burn? Did you have any tingling in your face? Anything like that? Everything. She's so helpful. Her consultant saved my life, my sanity. I'm free of mental bondage because of support. Please use her consulting. It is, oh, hey, boo-boo. I love you. Okay. It doesn't hurt, burn, or anything. You could have just been having a pimple. It could have just simply been a pimple, because I'm not going to lie, guys. I later found out I had type 1 and type 2. Found out that my husband had type 1. I had type 2 already, but he didn't know. Okay. So, with that being said, time to time, before even I found out this, I get pimples, like when my period, or when my period's quote unquote supposed to come, because I'm a Morena, I get pimples right here. Or if I'm stressed out, I got a pimple right here, like right here. So my whole thing is you just got to know your body and not to freak out every time you see something, because everything is not that. You could simply just be having a pimple just for being a chick, or just have acne. But if it didn't burn or hurt anything, that doesn't mean it wasn't an outbreak, and it doesn't mean it was. Like off to the side, like here. If it was out here somewhere, then it probably was just a pimple. Typically, outbreaks in your oral is like on the outskirts of your lip here, in the corner of your lip. Some people is in the inside of the lip. Some people is like down here on the inside of their lips. But most people have it on The outskirts, like you see how my pimple is, not my pimple, but my my mole on my lip. It's like the outskirts of their lips here, corners of their lips, on the bottom of their lips here, and things like that, inside their lips, and the corners like that. Yeah, it was around that area. It wasn't in the corner. It wasn't the regular one, but it was off the outside. Okay. Well, it could have been and it could not, but the thing about it, we'll never know. So my whole thing is just to take precautions, have Carmex, Abreva, things like that, and you can continue to put that on your lips and things like that, or Blistex and things like that for just precautions. Though, and like I said, Carmex and Blistex is truly for herpes, for cold sores. They kind of change the names and things like what it's for, but that's those two products are what it's for, and Abreva. So you can do that, or you can do a concoction of tea tree oil and coconut oil and just put it on your lips as like a moisturizer, so that can give you a little more, make you feel a little bit better that you're doing something. Have you had another one since then? Okay, so the thing is, if since you never had one again, then it could have just been a pimple, from stress or things like that, or just how you eating. But I said just the small precautions I just told you, you can just put on that. It's like a basic thing you can put on your lips just for your concern. Because I know you're kind of scared because you just don't know what it's going to be. And you're freaking out to have an outbreak, baby. You don't want one, so just breathe, okay? And since you're in a relationship with your boyfriend, if he's okay with it, live. Just live. Just live, baby. Just live. You do not want nothing about these outbreaks. It ain't a life. See, that's why I'm so confused. Yeah, that is confusing. But the thing about it is you have to just wait and wait until it happens. But that's what I'm saying. Herpes is very confusing because at the end of it does not look the same for everybody. It don't feel the same for everybody. Some people don't have outbreaks. They got blood work. Never had an outbreak in their life. Ever. But like I keep telling you, outbreaks are not just seeing a blister or a lesion or a cold sore or a fever blister or a cut. It's itching, it's burning, it's discharge, if you have it in the vaginal area. It's aching, it's tingling. Those are still symptoms. Those are outbreaks. Those all still count. They all still count. Anybody else have any more questions? I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you are watching this video, just a replay, we're just here doing a Q&A. So if you have any questions, please ask the questions. If you have some things that you want to ask me a little bit more personable, like a little personal, you want to kind of tell me your story, or you simply need somebody to talk to, then you can do what I have now is the end of the month promotion, which I'm going to probably start doing a little bit more often. At the end of the month promotion between the 20th to the 30th, then you can do my session. So typically I have the overcoming session, which is 45 minutes for $35. I want to do 20 minutes for $15, and then the disclosure, which one, like I said, you want to tell me your story, kind of tell me what's going on so I can be a little bit more candid with you, and we can kind of work through a script or something that you could probably say to your mate or your partner or soon to be partner. Then that one's typically 30 minutes for $25. So it's going to be 20 minutes for $15. So my whole thing that is from the 20th to the 30th of this month. If you want to sign up for that, I will put the thing in here at the bottom. I don't know how to type, guys. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. I showed y'all this dirty room. We gotta clean up, y'all. But I'll show it to you. It's bit/I have it all capital letters, but I'll put it in the comment section after this so you guys can look at it. Also, okay, so when I first found out I took the pills even though I didn't have an outbreak, I also would put coconut oil and tea tree oil on my genitals. You're doing what you can. That's it. It ain't nothing much else you can do. There's nothing else you can do. Now the only thing you need to focus on is for your sanity. You need to get to a point where you're not focused on it all the time and stressing about it, because stress is our number one trigger. Stop stressing.
Out the dock, right? When I throw him.
See my mom.
You want some?
Want what?
Chip.
Mm-mm.
And some, what's some coffee?
You got some queso?
Mm-hmm.
They still had it free today? Mm-mm. I thought you went yesterday.
Mm-mm. I passed right by the exit.
I'll get some.
You got the damn nerve to have my ball on your head.
Yep, I'll put a little pom-pom in my head. It don't look cute like it is in your hair. My hair is different from yours.
Of course you have different texture, and then you ain't got it on good.
I don't know how to put this pom. Look at the pom-pom. She got 2 pom-poms.
You ain't got it on good because it's supposed to go all over.
I don't know.
Your hair probably too long.
Yeah, I didn't tuck it real good. Hey, Tamara.
I got some what's called a taco salad.
Oh, I want some of that.
Well, you better come get it.
All right, I know in previous videos your husband did not have it. You mentioned he had type 1 now. How did he feel about getting it from you now? Was this hard for him? I didn't give him type 1. I had type 2. So he already had it, and he did not know it. Neither one of us knew that. He didn't really tell me how he felt about it at all. So, with that being said, I mean, he had his moments that he freaking out, and I was like, just put some tea tree oil on it and you'll be all right. But I did not give him type 1. I have type 2. So, he probably been having it for a while, and he just did not know it. But my husband was a stresser, so, with that being said. But, like, when I did that video, we did not know. When I end up getting closer to my divorce, I went to go get tested again coming out of my marriage because of some things I was concerned about, and my test results came back that I had type 1. So I was like, really, sir? Okay, right. But he dealt with it on his own. He really didn't say anything to me. I think he's in denial, but people do what they want to do. It's so funny that he's in denial, and I'm a coach for this, but I just used to tell him put tea tree and coconut oil on it, but I think he was just in denial and he didn't worry about it. I can't really fully tell you how he felt because he did not talk about it. Girl, you better quit with wearing gloves. You're doing too much. I love you, but you are doing absolutely too much. That's too much. Soap is going to kill herpes, period. Okay? Herpes do not lie on any surface long at all. Long as you washing yourself with soap, it's not going to be a big issue at all. I don't want you to think, oh my God, I have to do this. You're going too far. And you're going to freak yourself out, and now you're going to think you are contagious all the time. Breathe. Herpes is not that big of a deal. It's just really not. I'm being honest. It's not that big. You're going over the top. Don't do it, okay? Wait until marriage. Marriage does not have anything to do with anything. People in their marriage get herpes all the time. I talk to many. So, honestly, it's not that. The best thing to do is to get tested and ask for the test and be educated. I strongly suggest, wait until marriage, but still, most people don't even get tested in their marriage or even get testing, period, like that for herpes. So, that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is testing that most people do not do or even know how to do. Well, I'm proud of you, sweetie. I'm happy you never hugged a girl. That's fine. I truly support, waiting into marriage. I think it's a beautiful thing. No, I did not wait to marriage at all. I started having sex very young. But I would strongly suggest you do that. But I will always tell you, at the end of the day, you being a virgin does not keep you from getting herpes. You just kissing somebody, your family kissing you, your auntie, your grandma, your mama, you can still get herpes. So with that being said, it's very important just to be simply educated. Simply educated. I don't do it anymore, but when I found out this is what I did. I mean, honestly, that's what a lot of us think, but it's it's over the top, because then you make yourself feel dirty. You make yourself feel disgusting. You make yourself feel nasty, and you don't want to make yourself feel that. My boyfriend have helped me out tremendously. Yay! It's always great when you have a supportive boyfriend, or girlfriend, or spouse. Did you wait till marriage? No, I did not. I'm Asian, so my parents will kill me if I don't wait until marriage. I understand that. So my whole thing is, at the end of the day, it's a great thing. I am a Christian, so I truly do believe in it. It just, life rocked me a little bit, and I was exposed to sex at a very young age, which kind of opened the door for me to even want to do it very young. But anybody, I would strongly suggest them to wait into marriage, to a point of, I'm coming out of my marriage and I don't want to have sex again, and two, I am married again. Because at the end of the day, it lets you see, it's not even about the STDs. It's about for you to really get to know a person without being clouded. Sex is it clouds your judgment. I'm not gonna lie, it clouds you. In marriage, it's a different thing, because it creates intimacy within your marriage, and it keeps you bonded. And a lot of people are having sex with people, and you're bonded to that person, or you are attached to that person, and things like that. And you wonder why I can't get over them, and oh my God, I'm going crazy, and I want to be with them, and they don't want to be with me. It's because you have bonded yourself with that person, and that's the reason why. The main reason why they tell you to wait. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you get really cloudy. You really get really cloudy, especially when it's not a person who truly care about you, want to marry you, want to be with you for a long period of time. It's all about intimacy that creates with you and your mate. You're a very special person for helping us. Aw, I'm happy to help you. It's happy to help. Happy to help. Happy to help. Anybody, any more questions? I know you're separated, but does sex get better in marriage with herpes? Do you think you can get into a place where you don't have to use protection? We didn't use protection. It's a mind thing. It's up to you. Honestly, your partner's not going to really care. It's going to be you caring. So my whole thing, if you get into a marriage and your partner is still freaking out about use protection, then honestly, you need to think to yourself, do I need to be married to this person? Because honestly, they should get to a point they accept you and say, whatever comes with you is what I accept, and let's just be free. But typically, if you're at that point and you're still scared, then I wouldn't suggest you getting married or doing anything, because you need to learn how to accept yourself before you even move forward with that, and thinking that you're going to be in your marriage and you're going to be using protection the whole time. Nobody's going to do that. They're not going to do it. Do sex get better in marriage with herpes? Sex is sex. I don't want to say it get better in marriage. I just say sex is sex. With herpes, sex is sex with herpes. Sex is sex without herpes. It's just, my whole thing is all a mindset. My whole thing is how you feel about yourself. If you're confident in yourself, you feel good with yourself, you have accepted yourself, and the person you're with accepts you too, and y'all have made a determination on how y'all going to treat each other. Are we going to use protection? Are we not going to use protection? That's a conversation that you must have with your partner. If y'all decide y'all want to use protection, cool. That's something y'all agree upon. If y'all don't want to use protection, cool. That's what y'all agree upon. But at the end of the day, if you're going to get married, I'm telling you, nobody is trying to use protection in no marriage. They're just not even with it. Okay? That's a whole big issue why dudes want to get married. Sometimes I'm like, man, I ain't got to use protection forever. So I said to myself and my partner, but sometimes it's just, will it be this way forever, Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Why are you thinking negative? Why wouldn't it be? If your partner's not showing you anything different, you can't not think not one moment that it's going to change. If anything changes, it's not going to have anything to do with herpes. It's going to because of something, a dynamic change in your relationship. You changed, he changed, something happened in your relationship, something like that. So no, sex ain't going to change. That's going to be fine, but herpes is not going to change. The only thing that's going to change is how y'all feel about something else that's going on in your relationship. So I want you to know, your relationship is your relationship right now because of what y'all are doing and how y'all are treating each other and how y'all communicating with each other and things like that. So y'all not going to have any issues. Oh, you did awesome sauce. Go wipe your mouth, babe. You got stuff on your lips.
You need cheese?
Yeah, go get it off your mouth.
I need
So Most relationships, I'll tell you this, most relationships do not end because of herpes. Most relationships end because people don't trust people, or people, other things happen in relationships, things like that. But herpes typically is not the main reason people are in relationships. It's because of other things that happen in a relationship. How they're being treated, and, cheating, or lack of communication, or simply that person cannot get over it. Like, my whole thing is, as women, or even people who are living with herpes, you can't be in your relationship and expect your partner to continue to um deal with you not accepting yourself. It gets very hard for them to say, I accept you, I love you, they're displaying all this stuff to you, and you're kind of like, no, I can't get over this. You don't really love me. I can't get over this. This is going to be the rest of my life. I'm sorry. People are not going to continue to deal with that. They just not. They're like, look, girl, you bringing me down. I'm here for you. I'm trying to show you that I love you, but can you accept that? And can you accept yourself? But that's why you have to take out the time to get some help, get some support, get in support groups. Reach out to me if you want to talk more. So now we can really talk about what you're feeling, answer your questions, or just simply have somebody to talk to who get it. Because sometimes in your relationship, you just don't have somebody who understands. Yeah, your partner love you and everything like that, but they don't understand. They don't have it. So I get, the feelings, but at the end of the day, you got to understand, if somebody accepts you, that's your biggest fear, that somebody will not accept me. And then you get that and you still don't accept that. That's kind of crazy, So with that being said, that means you don't need the acceptance from a partner or struggling to get a relationship. That wasn't your issue. Your issue was you accepting yourself. That's why I always tell you, ladies and guys, accept yourself before you get into relationships. It makes it so much easier. So when you get into a relationship, herpes is not an issue. You accept yourself, that person accepts you, and y'all move on and do what y'all do in y'all relationship. Hooking up with strangers is risky, right? Hooking up with anybody is risky. It ain't strangers. It's just people, period. You can be in a relationship with somebody for a long period of time and still get something from them. You can meet somebody tomorrow and don't get nothing from them. People are just risky. Sex is a risky act. It's very risky, period. It's risky, especially, you will say marriage now, but people are not being faithful in marriages these days. So that makes it a little bit more hard, which I won't say that happened in my marriage. That's not the reason why I got divorced. It wasn't infidelity in my marriage. But at the end of the day, guys, like, sex is a risky thing, So, and the fact that some people just simply don't know anything about sexual health puts you more at risk, or the lack of getting tested is the biggest thing. Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, you having sex with strangers, that's the reason why you get stuff. Fully not. It's the fact of, yes, that is a case too. I'm not going to say that's not. But at the end of the day, it's because of lack of education between the two people. If everybody's doing the right thing, getting tested, things like that, it won't be no STDs, but folks ain't getting tested, or don't know how to get tested, or don't know anything about testing. So that's where the risks come in. And another thing y'all have to understand, you can still get herpes with condoms. Because nobody's using protection for oral sex. It's the first thing y'all do, oral sex and foreplay. All that kissing and all that foreplay, and then that's where herpes is truly coming from. Yeah, when I told my boyfriend, he was like, we are dealing with this together, but I didn't feel like that. It was times I wanted to say, no, you're not. I'm dealing with it by myself. See, that's my thing is, you can't tell your partner that they don't accept you. You can't tell them that they're not okay. You need to get to a point and you need to go to him and say, look, babe, this is so hard for me. I'm feeling some type of way about myself. And let them reaffirm you that you are who you were before. But if you can't see that and you think they're gonna leave you, you're putting a strain on your relationship, because there's only so much they can deal with, because they can't keep trying to prove to you that they're okay. You got to prove to yourself that you're okay, and prove to yourself that you can accept yourself. It has nothing to do with your boyfriend. It has everything to do with you, and he can only do so much. Luckily y'all are still together, but at the end of the day, you got to understand how much of a strain that is to your partner when they were like, man, I love this girl, I love this guy, or I love this, dude, and oh, they're just making it so hard for me. After a while, it gets stressful, and people don't know how to deal with that when their partner is just not accepting the fact that they love them. It's hard. You said kissing doesn't cause herpes. I didn't say that. You need to go back up and watch my video a little bit more. I did not say that. I think that the problem I'm having, especially now, is that I'm pregnant. Yeah, you're just scared that you'll probably give it to your baby. That's your biggest fear now. And the fact that you don't know that is scary. You said he better not go nowhere. Girl, he done been with you this long. He said, "You're making me scared. I'm staying a virgin for life." I mean, you do what you desire. I'm just educating you. My whole thing is, it's not about scaring, it's about educating you. So when you do decide to, when you decide to get married with things like this, or you're dating your partner and before y'all get married, you need to ask questions. Even you may not meet somebody who's a virgin, and that's something you have to understand. You may not meet somebody who's a virgin. You may not meet anybody who ain't never kissed anybody or hugged anybody. You may not meet that. So now you need to ask your partner, "Hey, when the last time you been tested? Have you been tested for herpes? Have you been tested for this? Let's go get you tested." And that's not to make them feel bad or anything, but at the end of the day, you have to do that because everybody's just not a virgin. I'm not gonna say everybody's not, because I meet a lot of virgins these days, but at the end of the day, you have to understand, you may meet somebody who you're marrying who is not a virgin. So you need to also know these things, not to scare you, but to know these things so you're not walking in blind and ignorant, thinking, "Oh, I'm good, so my partner's good." Baby, that's not completely true. So you have to ask those questions and be aware of yourself. So don't be unaware, spite that you're not having sex. Spite that you're a virgin still doesn't give you a okay to be unaware of your sexual history, sexual health, or be aware of sexual health. And I think that's what's happening a lot. People are like, "Well, I'm not having sex, so I don't need to know those things." You're failing yourself. So when you do be put in a situation where you kiss somebody and something come up, or something happened to you, or you get into a situation and something do happen, then you like, "Oh my God, I think I'm good." No, you're not good. Or you see something, you be freaking out because you wasn't aware. And you have to stay very, very aware. Spite if you're doing it or you're not doing it, still make sure you know things. Okay? Before talking to you, I was feeling bad because I didn't know if I can kiss my child like other parents. You made me feel better. Yay! I'm happy I made you feel better, girl. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be an amazing mom. Y'all gonna be amazing parents. You have no problems at all. Life haven't stopped. Look, you got a great boyfriend. You're about to have a baby. So my whole thing, you're already killing the stigma already because you're doing the things that you thought you couldn't do at all. So applaud yourself, because at the end of the day, that's you killing the stigma for yourself already, because you have the things that some people don't have. So I hear my mama yelling. My mama a trip, y'all. Anybody else have questions or concerns? Don't be scared. I've been kind of having the same people ask questions and things like that. So don't be scared to ask any questions. This is a safe place. As y'all can see, we really don't have negativity here. So, make sure you ask your questions if you have it, or concern, or if you want to ask something for somebody else. Another thing, go wash your face. No, not right now. How do I make sure a girl is a virgin? You can't make sure a girl is a virgin. All you gotta do is ask her. It's gonna be a yes or a no. I don't see anybody lying to say they're a virgin or not. You just ask her. Most girls will be proud to say they're virgins. So you just ask her. Yeah, when I found out, I just knew I was never going to have a child or a man, but I have both. Boo, y'all. Stigma killer right there. You're an overcomer. Welcome to the club. I'm glad I found you on YouTube, because I didn't know that much about that. Hey, that's the thing. Most of us don't know half of this stuff, and that's why I do what I do. We have to use our experiences and things that happen to us, or even happen to other people, to educate, because this is just one STD that is not being broadcast, and it's affecting millions and millions and billions of people. I get emails all the time. I have people, y'all reach out to me. People watch my videos every day who had no clue about herpes. I have a support group. So if any of you guys want to be, only women, no men, I'm sorry guys, but only women, get a support group with us. It's about 313 of us in this group. Great support. Really be there for two. You should be a help at school. You know what? They don't even teach STD. We don't have STD awareness or anything in our schools here in Georgia anymore. But what I'm going to start doing is going to the high schools and talking to them in their science classes. But they don't really have those classes anymore. They don't really offer it because we're in a Bible state or Bible belt. And they're like, we're Christians. We don't need to talk about sex. And I think that's the stupidest thing to do, because so many Christians are getting herpes, and so many people in any other race, other religion who believe in the same thing of no sex before marriage is so ignorant, because we don't educate. My whole thing, just because you're telling a person to wait to marriage doesn't mean they're supposed to be stupid. Just being honest. honest. I just get so frustrated about that because people get married and then things happen to them and they get so upset because they think, oh my God, I did everything God told me to do and look what happened to my life. He doesn't love me. Baby, it's not that he doesn't love you. You just wasn't educated. Okay? And so I'm from Canada. I didn't know much about STDs when I was in high school because they don't teach it anymore. I have a lot of ladies in Canada in my group. So if you want to be a part of the group, make sure you go to my Facebook, which is Belize Samuel. It's my private page, not my business page. Send me a request, and then send me a private message saying, hey, Belize, add me to the group, and I'll add you right over to the group. It's private. Nobody will know that you're in the group on your Facebook. Nobody even see it. What's the name of the group? When I was in school, we had Teen Life programs where they talk to us about sex. I'm from South Carolina. Now think about it. I learned in South Carolina they do have, nonprofit organization that share, but here in Atlanta it's not that many like that. Can you share how your husband felt about after contracting from you? I know in all other videos you mentioned he was not affected. I stated that earlier. He did not contract herpes from me. He did not. He had type 1. I contracted type 1 from him. So I didn't feel like anything. I was like, oh, he didn't know. Oh, he didn't know. I was like, I didn't care. At the end of the day, I have herpes. Herpes is herpes. I'm at a point now that I've been having this for 8 years. It hasn't changed anything. It's not going to change anything. I can talk to anybody. I can date. Life is life. It doesn't bother me. The only thing I was bothered with is just the fact of he had freak out moments, but I don't know. I just didn't care. I'm being honest. I just didn't care. I was more concerned about leaving my relationship. I'm not even going to lie. That wasn't even a concern. I was just like, oh, really? But like I said, I already know the fact that if you don't ask for that test, you will never know that. And then you'll just never know. So I treated him like I would treat a client. He didn't know. He didn't know. And he got tested before he met me. A little bit before he met me, and we had the sex talk when the last time you've been tested. But once again, if he did not ask for that test, he would have never known that. And that's things that I learned a little bit after my husband as well, as I continued to decide. When I met my husband, I was not doing this at all. I wasn't doing all the research I was doing now. Hayden, close the door. Hayden, close the door. So my whole thing is I wasn't doing that. So when I did all my research, I was like, God darn it, they really don't test us for that. So come in the door and close it. So with that being said, hey, treat it like him like anybody else. He just didn't know. So, Angela, I didn't care, girl. I didn't care. I'm not a woman, though. I know you're not a woman. You stated that you never hugged a girl before. Are women more likely to get STDs? Yes and no. Yes and no. And I say yes and no because we're a little bit more open to things. But yes and no. Anybody can get STDs. Most guys get STDs without symptoms. Women are ones who typically find out that they have the STD because we go get tested. I got it from a guy I knew from 5th grade. I had a crush on him forever, and we finally had sex when he came home for our high school homecoming. It happens. It happens. It happens. So, yeah. Nope. Any more questions, y'all? Any more questions? Trying to make sure I caught everybody's questions. Isn't the vagina more susceptible to infection since it's open? That's what I just stated. I said yes and no. Because at the end of the day, yes, we are more open to getting things, but it's a yes and a no still. It's a yes and a no. I won't say completely women always get it, but women typically always find out because we're the ones who get tested. So if you're looking at records, it's going to look like women get it more, but it's just because women get tested more. We go get tested more than men do. Yes, I understand that physical anatomy. But at the end of the day, I just agree with you. Yes, it's more open, but you asked me, are women more likely to get STDs? that's a yes and a no question. Everybody's more prone to get STDs. We are just the ones that they see based off numbers and rates that we get more STDs for this or for that. And then they do it off race and things like that. But it's because we get tested more. Men typically do not get tested like that. So I think if we got tested as much, if men got tested as much as we did, then we would see it's equal across the board. But since women get tested more, you're coming to learn it seems like women getting STDs more, but who's giving it to it? Men. So that means more men have to have more STDs than women do. Numbers. It's all a number thing. Any more questions or concerns? I hope y'all answer y'all anybody questions. Hope I answered the questions. STDs happen to a girl when a man ejaculates inside her and he has an STD. It's not always ejaculation. It's not always ejaculation. That's the thing you have to understand. A lot of STDs is skin-to-skin contact. Some are that ejaculation, but some are skin-to-skin contact. It just depends on what it is. And you got to understand that ejaculation is just because they have the virus or the bacteria within that in their body, so then it comes through that way. But at the end of the day, you got herpes, you have HPV, other things that is skin-to-skin contact. Also syphilis is skin-to-skin contact.
Honey,
Yes.
apple cold during?
I'm just rewashing them because they was in storage.
Well, they don't need the washing machine or the dryer going.
Huh?
You ain't got nothing in the washing machine or the dryer.
No, the dryer was going before then. The washer stopped before the dryer.
Oh, well, the dryer don't stop too then.
Oh, okay. I only know HIV, AIDS, and herpes. HIV, AIDS, and herpes. It's so many more STDs than that. I would strongly suggest that you go to American Sexual Association and learn about all the STDs, because you are in for a rude awakening, because there's so many more STDs than those. School don't teach you everything. It's gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis, SPV, which that's very high right now. And I would tell you, since you are a guy, I would suggest you get the vaccine if you can get it. But you need to take some time to go into American Sexual Association and educate yourself, because the fact that because you're not having sex, you still got to be educated, because things can happen.
Why are you yelling in there?
Because we want to.
Go. Yo, quick snapping mouth. Go get you slapped and you have a big fat lip. Take your butt in your room.
I told you, hey.
Take your butt in your room. Because you think you're being smart. And you're going to smart yourself into a lip. Your lip's going to be fat as hell.
Junior, take that in the room. Pull your pants up. Pull your pants up.
You talking to somebody on the phone?
I'm doing a video. You gonna take your pants off? Come here. Come on. Step out. You bleeding. Step out. Sit down and take them off. Take that to grandma.
Where's that blue basket? You seen it?
What blue basket?
The one I had clothes in before.
It's a basket right here. And it's closed in the basket.
Not that basket. It was another basket.
I don't know. No, you put the books in it.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Well, you need to do something about these clothes in the thing, because these clothes really going to stay right here while you're doing the video.
I got this, Mom. Yeah, I got to see my dynamic from me and my mama. You should still get the vaccine, because at the end of the day, it can be passed. The thing about it, HPV is popping up heavily within people who are not even having sex. So with that being said, if you can get it, it can cause cancer, and men don't even get tested for it. There's no way for you to even get tested. Sexual act don't have anything to do with that. HPV is so interesting right now because you don't have to have sex to even get it. I will strongly tell you, do your research. Go into American Sexual Association and educate yourself. And you'll be very, very much surprised that just because you don't have sex doesn't mean things can't happen. Because HPV is becoming very rapid and it can cause cancer. So, all right, guys, let me go. I got some things I need to do, but I just want to jump on here and talk to you guys because I just took everything in my storage, so I need to clean my clothes. But I hope that helped. If you have any more questions, make sure you put them below and I'm going to answer them later. You can also be a part of the support group if you have herpes, just for the women. Go to my Facebook, send me a friend request on my personal page, and then send me a message stating that you want to add. And if you want to do a session with me, take advantage of the end of the month promotion, then sign up for bit/I have it, all capital letters. I'm going to put that below, and you can sign up for that. And that promotion's to the end of the month. Thank you, Belize. Chat with you soon. All right, love. I'll talk to you ladies, guys, people soon. I'm happy you guys got to answer questions, anything like that. Doesn't hesitate to reach out to me. If you just have a quick question, you can email me at overcomingthestigma@gmail.com. And I'll be talking to you guys very, 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 very soon. See ya.